So hello, welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and I think Pleiades is going to be my new CC deck. Azalea is very much on the edge of Living Legend, and I'm not going to pretend that I contributed to that at all, because I definitely did not. But Azalea has been like the lifeblood of my own sort of CC journeys in this game for the longest time, ever since she was absolute trash. But now there is this new hero entering the fray with Pleiades here, which is going to be part of the new Super Slam set, which everybody would have already seen by now, the teasers and the trailers for that. But this character really, really resonates with me. It's the first character that I can really sort of identify with since Azalea, and this is because she is a absolute rock star performer, superstar, right? I used to be in bands. I used to be a singer, screamer, and like I did all the electronics and keyboards for the bands that I was in. I was in a lot of metal core bands that had like the electronic influences, like Ask Alexandria, Devil Wears Prada, and Shikari. Those sort of bands were what really influenced me. And you might hear some stuff in the background now as to the bands that I was in. I did a lot of the songwriting as well. So that part aside, Pleiades here is definitely giving me that sort of superstar front girl vibe of a band, right? She's holding this guitar-like weapon as well, so it's going to be interesting to see what that does. And she has some unique mechanics that we haven't really seen yet. So obviously, you can see it in front of you here. It's a 40 health, revered guardian hero, so a talent to a certain degree, 4 intellect, and at instant speed, you can tap your hero. So obviously, tap is now going to be permeating through all of Flesh and Blood, I imagine, rather than just the once per turn action phrase. But at instant speed, you can tap her and remove a suspense counter from an aura you control. You may put a suspense counter on an aura of suspense you control. Whenever the crowd cheers you, create a confidence token. So what it looks like you want to be able to do in this is just play a load of auras that have suspense counters on them, so auras of suspense, which is what it references in here. And then you want to be able to tap your hero and move those counters around to other auras of suspense, which might have more long-standing value, basically. And I imagine, obviously, these auras of suspense are going to come in with varying different numbers of suspense counters on them that you can then tap your hero at instant speed to remove one of those and put another one on something else. And this is going to be a delicate balance of managing all of your auras that are in play, but also moving suspense counters to and from each one to try and extract as much value as possible from the auras that are in play. And of course, whenever the crowd cheers you, you also get a confidence token. So there's obviously a little mini mechanic in here as well, wherever the crowd will boo you or the crowd will cheer you. If you get the crowd to cheer you because you're like, yeah, I'm a Revered Guardian, I'm playing, I'm superstarring, yeah. If the crowd's cheering you, that's when you're going to get extra things. Now, I imagine, because obviously of the introduction of, is it Lilith Goldmane off the top of my head, that is the hero that has 5 intellect. Let me see if I can just flash up the image for Lilith here, actually, while we're on Fabrary. Yeah, there they are. Lilith Goldmane Vile Savant. So this is the first 5 intellect hero, 40 life. But obviously the base power and defense of cards you control are halved. So what I imagine confidence and toughness to be, which is the stuff that a lot of these cards will generate for you, I imagine confidence will buff your attacks constantly, maybe, and then toughness will buff your defense constantly while you have a toughness token or while you have a confidence token. So that would sort of outweigh the Lilith or Leath's downside, where obviously your card power and defense are halved. If you've got confidence and toughness, you might be able to mitigate that to a certain degree. So I imagine that's what they do. But we'll see. This could just be utter garbage by the time confidence and toughness is revealed. But I just thought I'd get a video out there because this is going to be my new CC deck, whether she's good or bad. But anyway, yeah, when the crowd cheers you, you get a confidence token. So maybe that just buffs all of the attacks that you do, or does something else. So yeah, I really, really like the sort of perceived play style of this. It's establish a board state, but then you have to manage that board state intricately by removing counters from something and then putting onto something else, which might have more value or might have more effect or might have more use depending on the situation that you're in. And obviously, because this is an instant ability, it just means that you can do those sorts of things on your opponent's turn as well. So if you need to extract a piece of suspense from one of your auras and put it onto something else, which might buff your defense or something along those lines, or prevent damage or something. It will just allow you to do that. And I think Pleiades not only looks awesome, but introduces a brand new sort of play style where you do want to establish auras, but they're counter-based. There's a lot of... there isn't many counter-based things or counters matter, really, in Flesh and Blood right now, and this whole suspense thing is definitely sort of tickling that itch as such. Like, if you remember... in Magic the Gathering, like the Simic or the Simic Guild that wants to put loads of different counters on things and stuff. That's kind of what this might feel like. But she's a Guardian as well, so she has access to all of the Guardian suite and stuff as well. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, if we look at the charm here, the Thespian Charm, what this also reminds me of is like blinking things or returning things to your hand for extra value. Because obviously, with this card, you can return an aura permanent you control to its owner's hand. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of suspense or auras of suspense that come in with a certain amount of counters on them. But when you play this, you return that to your hand and then you play it again. So it comes in again refreshed with more suspense counters. And obviously you can tap your hero ability, instant speed, to remove one of those counters and put it onto something else, depending on what your game plan is or what you want to be doing. So this seems like quite an intricate dance, and obviously we've got the whole Guardian package as well, which is obviously going to be supported by Mastery Pack Guardian very, very soon. So I think Guardian, Revered Guardian, and then this Pleiades as well is going to be coming out with a new Armory deck as well. So it's just the perfect point for someone like me who's looking for a new hero to jump into this. And funnily enough, I was looking at picking up the Jarl Armory deck and getting Jarl sorted. And just playing something a little bit different going forward in like Flesh and Blood. But this is definitely the hero that I'm going to be jumping on board with for sure. I've always loved the Guardian package. It's very, very similar to Azalea to a certain degree, which offers a lot of disruption. But Guardian, again, is a very, very sort of, I'll say defensive class, but very stalwart class, and something that I can identify with there. But also this whole rockstar, superstar vibe that we're getting from Pleiades as well is just something that definitely speaks to me. So this is definitely going to be my new CC hero of choice. I'm going to spend a lot of time working on it, casually, of course. But yeah, this is going to be the new deck that I play, I imagine, and I can't wait to see everything else that's going to be part of the suite. But obviously, we've got some really, really cool heroes in this set. Tough Nut as well, for instance, a first 3 intellect hero that can pitch from the top of the deck. We've obviously got Liath. We've got KO returning as well. So this set looks really, really cool. Now, I can understand why some people don't like it, but I feel like this is really awesome, and I can't wait. And I love the fact that they are returning to the Deathmatch Arena as a way to introduce new characters without really going anywhere else. So I do like the fact that they're setting the precedent, like, this is the Deathmatch Arena, this is the place where heroes come to fight for whatever reason, right, or put on a show, and we can introduce new heroes, we can introduce new mechanics, we can expand old heroes as well. The expansion slot is double the size in this set. And it's a nice little linchpin where they can return to introduce new things without having to explore more areas of Wraith, right? So the Deathmatch Arena really the sort of focal point of where these heroes could be new heroes could be introduced, new mechanics explored, new cards entering the format, etc., etc., etc. And it does have that that heavy hitters vibe as well with some of the classes that are in here. Wasn't expecting Guardian and Brute again so soon, but yeah, it's cool. I'm glad that we're seeing it, because we get this awesome character in Pleiades Superstar, which is definitely going to be a fan favorite, that's for sure. But definitely resonates with me on a more personal level, and that is what Flesh and Blood is all about. It's about finding these new heroes, and obviously different sets and different aesthetics can appeal to different people, and obviously when you find that hero that you can identify with, it just makes it all the better. And obviously with the Living Legend point system changed and tweaked to a certain degree as well, it just means that we're going to be able to spend more time with these new heroes, because they're not going to rack up a load of Living Legend points, because they're going to be halved. I think they're halved, aren't they? I can't remember the precise numbers, But the Living Legend points, as they stand at the moment, just means we're going to be able to spend more time with these new heroes that we've sort of identified and love so much. So very, very, very excited. Can't wait for Super Slam to come out, and it's going to be my new CC deck. I think this Pleiades Superstar. So leave a comment in the section below as to what you're looking forward to, or are you not looking forward to it. I'm happy to hear about your thoughts either way. Leave a comment in the section below, like and subscribe, and that's pretty much it for now. We'll be back with the League That Means Nothing Round 2s very, very soon. And yeah, just thought I'd release a little talking head video for once. It's been a while. We'll see you soon. Cheers, folks.